Hello, 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 angels. How are you? Happy Monday. I hope it's been a great day so far. We're going to talk about Brian Laundrie and Miss Gabby Petito. Rest in peace to her. But we're going to talk about this case. We're also going to talk about Kelly Price and her response, her situation. So if you have any comments or anything that you would like to say without typing, you're more than welcome to call in. All right. Meaning that you can, not a phone, but you can click the link. You do not have to come on camera. But I have a few things to say myself, and I would love to hear your guys' perspective as well. So I will see you in just a second. Hey, 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 angels. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hey, sister. Hey, beautiful. How you doing, Dal? Hey, Des. I hope work is going well for you, babes. So, you guys, I am going to pop on camera in just a second. I'm just putting on my lotion and stuff. So you guys, if you're not familiar, there is a huge case going on right now that includes a search for a young man by the name of Brian Laundrie, it's not Landry, it's Laundrie. So him and his fiance Gabby Petito were they were doing like a cross country trip where they visit different places. I think they were on their way to visit family. I want to say her grandmother, but needless to say, they were driving, they were on a trip, okay, cross country, visiting different places, landmarks, things like that. Gabby had a YouTube channel that she was active on, documenting her experience and the places that they visited. Also, she was active on Instagram, so she was very much so on social media. Brian is a guy that she met. They were from different states, lived in different states, and she did move to where he was, and she had been living with him for the past 2 years in his parents' home. So this was a relationship where they were together, they lived together. The families were very much involved, especially Brian's, because they were in the same household with them. And so, it was a pretty tight-knit thing, right? Hey, Coco, how you doing, Dow? Hey, Kimmy, happy Monday, ladies. So this was this was a relationship, okay? Now, they are saying that they were engaged. So I heard that they were engaged, and then I also heard that they decided to call it off. So either way, they were together. I guess it really doesn't matter, engaged or not. They weren't actually married, so it really doesn't matter. Veronica babes, happy Monday. So they were together. They're on this trip. Where they have been spotted a few different places by some people. They are on this trip. They were in like the wilderness camping sort of thing. It wasn't like a hotel to hotel type of thing. They were driving. Gabby had a minivan. I think it was a Ford Transport. I don't even know what kind of van was that. Anyway, she had a minivan. And Brian was the one, he did the driving, and that's what they used as their transportation. And then they would camp out and things like that. So they were in like that type of environment. But nonetheless, they were seen, they ran into multiple different people along the way, whether if the other people were vacationing themselves or if they were locals. there were plenty of different people who said that they ran into them and things like that, both together and Brian by himself. So what happened was they were on this trip through the month of August. And next thing you know, Brian shows up at home in Florida with Gabby's van and no Gabby. Okay, so that was just the instantaneous red flag. Okay, Brian was home, showed up, and he had her van, but he didn't have her. So now I'm going to say this. I don't know who initially, well, okay, let me say this. Okay, so Brian showed up September 1st with Gabby's van, but no Gabby. Okay. Her parents reported her missing 10 days, I want to say 10 days later. I want to say September 11th is when they reported Gabby missing. So they didn't actually report her for a while after Brian had been, seen and at home and everything. Now, what I don't know is, I do know. So Gabby, she, number one, like I said, she posted on Instagram, she posted on YouTube. She documented not only her journey and her trip, but she was very much so in contact with her family also. So she wasn't the type of person that she just goes off for weeks at a time and nobody hears from her. But what I'm getting at is I don't know, like, the initial conversation or the initial, like, whatever that conversation was to cause the parents to report her missing. I don't know if it was out of pure suspicion because Brian gave them no type of communication, or if there was a conversation that caused them to do that. That is like the one piece that I don't know. But needless to say, Brian had been home for 10 days before before her parents, reported her missing. So yeah, so he had just time, a lot of time. If we know, or I mean, if you guys, we hear about so many different types of cases, crimes that happen, missing persons, things like that. The rule is, or the saying goes, the more time that passes, the worse the outcome that is assumed, right? So here we have 10 days before anybody even looked at anything, or even had any word of possibly something being wrong. Okay. So right off the bat, from her being reported missing, Brian gives absolutely no explanation or information on where she is, what happened, anything. Like, he gave no information at all, period. Still has not given anybody any information. So it has turned into this nationwide manhunt looking for this man. The parents got legal counsel, and the legal counsel issued a statement stating that they had no comment. They were not going to speak on it at all, period, not give any type of statement or opinion or anything. Like, so the family isn't giving any comment. Like, the house that she lived in, the people that she actually lived with for 2 years was not given any information, no comment. The boyfriend who she had been with for the last 2 years, who she left and went on this trip with, and he came back in her van without her, gave no explanation. And still to this day, there is still nothing. The only thing they had from the family initially was the sister, basically saying that, basically on the family's behalf, they like her, they love her, she's, and they just want, hopefully she comes home as soon as possible. Well, we all know at this point that Gabby is not coming home as soon as possible. Gabby is now laid to rest, and I use the word rest very lightly. But she has been found, and she has also been her funeral services also took place yesterday actually. So the parents, the parents have issued statements from day one. They initially were issuing statements just saying, could you please just give us something. And now that she had actually been found, and she had been found, the last place that they were spotted or known, the area they were known to be in, which was in Wyoming. Um, and they live all the way in Florida, so, or was it Utah? So they were in like they got stopped in Utah. They had an incident in Utah. They were in Wyoming, so they were like over there in that area. And so she was found. I want to say in Wyoming, but they were saying from where they would have last been seen or where she was found for him to drive, it would have been at least a 35-hour drive. So, they're trying to create this timeline on when the situation happened. And then with people coming forward and giving the information of when they had interactions with either him and Gabby or just him by himself. People have come forward and given that information. So it's created a timeline to where it looks like it probably happened right around, I would say probably the 20, maybe the 29th, 28th, somewhere in there. And that would pretty much be on point with, him being able to, do what he did and have time to drive back and show up on the first. So he's still on the run. There's family has still not spoken. The home has been raided. Evidence has been taken. Cars have been searched. The van itself had been searched. There are plenty of things that the FBI and um, I'm sorry, you guys. Excuse me. My phone just rang. If I fade it out, but they just still haven't found him. Now, what I'm gonna say is that if we know anything about the police or any type of investigations, they they're not going to let on everything that they know, and they are using a lot of resources right now. I keep saying Scooby Doo and the gang. Hey Lexington, how you doing, Dow? Saying Scooby Doo and the gang showed us that the monsters are always people we know. We are the boogeyman. Ain't that's the truth. That's the damn sure truth. So so they're using a lot of resources, right? And he still has not been found yet. Now they did have something in the woods because they're really focusing on an area, I want to say in Florida. Like they are really focusing on this specific area. And it seems that if they are using as many resources that as they're using and really just zoned in on this area, there is most likely a reason why. And it may just be information that they have not yet given out, or they're just solely going off of tips and other things like that. I mean, if we know anything about the internet and the comment section and the chat rooms, listen, like working together, we know that people, the comment section and the chats will find whatever, right? So I don't know if they're going off of that or if they actually have information that is not publicly known. But either way, I'm really just hoping that this man is found and in custody before they let go, because now here we are. Gabby has been found, so that part is out of the way. So now we know that a homicide did happen. And her funeral services have happened and all of that. So that part is done. So they're no longer looking for her anymore. So now it's solely about getting him. And but one thing I know about criminals, like they always get caught. I see the thing about it is it doesn't matter if you get caught like right away or if it's decades down the line. Like you always end up getting caught. Always. There are people who thought they got away with stuff 30 years ago, and whatever the simplest damn thing just slipped them up. You know, I mean, what happens is people get relaxed, especially over time. And, like right now, he's running. Right now, he's on guard. He knows that all eyes are, in the different areas and watching and looking. There's drones, there's helicopters, there's cameras, there's just everything everywhere. They got, they're using heat sensors. I mean, they're doing all types of shit, okay, to get this guy. Like, I've never actually seen a search like this, like ever. And that's what raises my question to what do they know? Or what else is it? Because, and this is no slight to anyone who has lost their life at the hands of someone else. But we've seen we've seen murder cases, we've seen missing people cases, and bodies are found. There's suspects out there, and I've just never seen this type of search. Maybe it's just me just only paying attention to this one, and I just have not aware, but it's just huge. Um, so. uh, I think the police dropped the ball in the beginning. Yep, her privilege allowed them, yes, to let them both go instead of arresting them for fighting, in my opinion. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that is my exact thought. When they had that stop, when that call went in, see, it was even weird to listen to the 911 call where the person said that they saw him hit her. They saw him lay hands. And for the 911 dispatcher to not even relay the full details of what the call entailed. Like the call was very detailed, and what like the dispatcher asked, what are they doing? Or, like, what are they doing? They said like he's hitting her, like he hit her, he slapped her, like, and you don't relay that. What was the point in you asking that question if you weren't going to relay the information? You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, right there, that ball was dropped right there. And then, yeah, just the police who showed up to the scene themselves. It was absolutely her privilege, and his too, because it was like, and too many times we see that, which she didn't call the police on him. So, but we see where domestic situations happen, and, one will try to cover up for the other, but I'm going to tell you something. There was a day, I mean, it used to be where they may only take one, or they may just say, well, okay, we'll just separate you, we'll just leave, just cool off, all that shit that they were saying. But now, no, like if they be, you better be happy if they don't take both of y'all asses nowadays. Like they supposed to at least take one, and especially for there to be an actual assault that happened. Like even if it wasn't the dispatcher, letting it be known that it was him that was doing the hitting, she admitted to doing the hitting. So because there was assault, there was an admittance to assault period, to hands being laid on the other person, that in itself is why she should have been arrested. She should have been arrested. And it obviously was a Sunday. It had been a Sunday because they kept saying, like, basically courts weren't open, stuff like that. So it wasn't like much that they could have did that day outside of either arrest or separate. But you should have arrested because she admitted to assaulting him. Even if she was covering up. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? They didn't know that at the time. So I think the ball was dropped twice just in that one incident alone. Um, so yep, have the autopsy report been released on? No, the autopsy report, they're still waiting on that. They did thus so far is they've issued the arrest warrant on him using her debit card supposedly after the date after her passing. So he's used her debit card and spent about $1,000 or withdrew because I think they said a PIN number was used. So either he spent or used or withdrew about $1,000. I don't think that he would have withdrew it though because that would have been an ATM and that would have gave a location. But they do have money being spent off her card supposedly after she passed. Excuse me. So hey niece, what's going on, boo? So that's what they have a warrant out for him for because at first they were saying something about, a warrant for him having her vehicle and she's not in it, like basically like a vehicle theft or something like that. But they didn't want to mess anything up by, harassment or just frivolously just putting any charges on him. But since they did have that card transaction and it's out of state and all of that, that gave them what they needed to be able to issue a warrant for that. That way, when they do come in contact with him, they are able to arrest him because him just being a person of interest, they could find his ass and run right up on him, and he don't got to say nothing. He don't got to go with them, and they don't have no right to take him either. He's just a person of interest, and now you got eyes on him, but it ain't nothing you can do about it. So now they have an arrest warrant, so they are able to actually take him into custody and then, to lead into the other stuff. But the autopsy results, basically they just ruled it as a homicide, but they have not given the details of how she died. The cops said they knew what he was going through, but basically women are crazy. That's basically because even in the car, he's giving his wife, like, sir, you are a police officer. Like, it's okay to have conversations and it's okay if you want to do small talk, but you basically just gave this this guy your wife's whole damn medical history. Like literally. Like he done sat up here and gave this man his wife's damn medical history, basically calling her crazy, talking about how since she on medicine now, it's so much more better for him and just them as a whole. He knows what he's going through and all this and that and the third and stuff or whatever. That shit is ridiculous. They are in the wrong. And I don't understand why they are not under some type of damn some type of action or whatever. Like something, some type of disciplinary action, but anytime they discipline a damn officer, all they get is a damn little vacation because they get suspended still with pay. Like what the fuck who is that hurting? If they still getting paid, who is that hurting? You just telling me, okay, shit. You just gave me a vacation and I get paid? The fuck? I ain't never understood that shit. Ever. Suspended with pay. Like what the fuck? So I don't know, y'all, but yeah, that ball was dropped twice. But that the dispatcher did not relay the damn information correctly because even with that, the way that the dispatcher, with them withholding that information of what the details of what actually had happened, it could have been handled a whole lot differently. It could have went way different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody would have been arrested. They would have approached the whole thing differently. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can never tell now because it's like woulda, coulda, shoulda. So it's like, how do you know how it would have came out? But at the same time, it's like, how do we know? Because the proper information was not given. So it's just out there as how the fuck do we know? You know what I'm saying? Because they have a police union that fight for them. That's ridiculous as hell. I just feel like if you are under disciplinary action for something that you did wrong, now I can understand if it's something that maybe you didn't do anything, but for whatever reason, maybe wrong place, wrong time, or some shit like that, or you just happen to be somewhere, so you are, just being taken out of the environment right now, okay? Or maybe you have something that happen that's out of your control, okay? But you actually did something wrong. Like, you actually did something wrong. You're under investigation, you know, and all of this shit, and you still get to get paid while sitting the fuck at home. But yeah, but yeah, thank you so much, Miss Brown, baby. But yeah, that does make sense because that damn police union, they gonna fight for theirs. Okay, you right about that. They are going to come together when it comes to their own. So so yeah, so my thing is, are they going to, or you know, is he gonna outrun the resources? Like, are they, now that she's laid to rest, so to say, now that she's had her services, she's been found, they just have this fugitive out there and they possibly may, just let go, because I mean they are using a lot of resources. Not saying that they shouldn't be, because he needs to be found. He needs to be off the damn street, and people need to know what the fuck happened. At the end of the day, I even heard like people like maybe saying that it was an accident, this, that, and the third, and he's scared. Listen, let me tell you something about love. Okay, number one, if you truly love somebody, you're not gonna do hurt them in a way that's going to take their life at all, accident or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even going to make those types of movements, or you're just not. Like, as far, and so they're saying like accident, like maybe he did this or just hit or whatever. No, you're not. Like, there is no love behind, physically harming somebody. And then outside of that, if you love a person and you did accidentally do something that caused them to lose their life, you're going to leave them out there in the wilderness, in the woods? No, what he hoped was that she would be out there long enough to where nobody would find her. Out there in the wilderness, in the woods and shit like that, like shit, animals and deterioration and the heat and all of that shit, like, if nobody was really looking for her the way that they would have, ain't no telling. But it's like, no, he did what he did, and everything was very much so on purpose. And then he tried his best to flee the scene. That it's just as simple as that. Hey, Michi, how you doing, babe? This is why they don't go to jail. When we see them do wrong, they are protected by laws. Yep, yep, yep. Wow. Mm-mm. So I just feel like, I feel sorry for the family. Like, this girl was in her early 20s. These are not, these are girls in her early 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're somewhere with somebody who you're supposed to be in love with. And this is why you don't just let stuff go, y'all. We cannot just let things go. We can't just let people get away with harming us, treating us any kind of way, hurting us. You just can't let that kind of stuff go, because what happens is people will get more and more comfortable, and it gets worse and worse. It gets worse and worse. There is no love behind physically harming and hurting you on purpose. Well, it could be cheating, it could be verbal, it could be, putting their hands on you, it could be purposely withholding things, and just anything to just make you feel bad, because you're not doing or being who and what they want you to be, so it's just not right. It's just not right. And you have to like get away from these things as soon as you can. As soon as you can. There's no amount of money that should make you stay with anybody. There's no lifestyle. There's no love. There's no sex. No kids. None of that. There's none of that that should allow you to just stay with a person who hurts you, especially on purpose. Like, who does that? You got people that, oh, basically you made me feel bad, so I'm gonna do this to you. Like, that's just not love. It's just like, just separate. Why the fuck are you can't change a person. There's nothing that you can do. Like, people feel like they can change somebody, or they don't mean it, or they come and apologize and all this dumbass shit. No, 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 no. Let people go and let them be. There is no changing a person or making them into something that you want them to be or they want you to be. No, 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 no. Okay? There's too many people out here. Yeah, listen, I Kiana gonna have to get some spray. If she wants to go to the dollar store or something and go get some cleaning supplies, you know. She could also, if she got a spray bottle, she could take some laundry detergent and some water and put it in a bottle and spray them like that. She could take her broom. She can take her vacuum hose. I have cramps. I just started my cycle, and I'm not going anywhere, do nothing. Other than go get me some ice. Who? Well, why you didn't say that? Why you just let me go all the way through all of that? So why you asking? I'm not asking. She said that. Yeah, Ronell, go. Go ahead. Go ahead. And before you go, I want all your dirty clothes downstairs in the basement. I don't know what you gotta do. My bad, y'all. Hey, darling. Damn kids, y'all. It's supposed to get easier when they get grown. My daughter got them damn stink bugs. And excuse me, I'm just gonna say this real quick because honestly, like this ain't the time. That was just not the time, okay? But y'all know them stink bugs or whatever. So I guess the stink bug is getting in where my daughter's air conditioner is in her room. And this girl calls every time something comes in. I'm like, girl, like, take it out the window. You're gonna do something, but you're gonna leave me alone. I'm not coming. Oh, my bad. I'm hitting the button. I'm not like, what am I? Like your personal exterminator? Anyway, I apologize, y'all. Excuse me. Hey, Hazel. I was wondering, is he connected to someone at the top, like fifth cousin? The shit is crazy to me. Listen, he got some connections, whether if it's somebody is um whether if it's somebody that is in the department or in the law enforcement, or he just got resources. He may just have family resources that, is allows him to have this just he has help. Okay. He damn sure has help. He is not doing this on his own. All right. This man has had help. And the worst part about it is he had almost 2 weeks of a head start. Okay. So it ain't no telling where the hell or what the hell. In 10 days, he could be on the other side of the world. And I don't believe he is because obviously you can pull records and, playing records, shit like that. So he's not. But I'm just saying 10 days is a long ass time for somebody that is on a mission to save their own life after taking somebody else's. They took somebody else's, but he damn sure trying to save his. And so that's a long ass time. Thank you so much, Impeach. Thank you, babe. Hey, Miss Wise. So he had way too long of a head start. My thing was he ain't too smart because why the fuck would you pull the fuck back up at your house with her van and not her? Now, if he would have showed up and it was just him showing up with that van and not her, like that's the number one thing. And what, his parents didn't ask? Nobody asked him anything. They just let him, he just came in and just la da 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 da. The neighbor talking about he didn't cut grass and did all types of shit. Which, that's shaky anyway. I don't know about all that. But either way, he just really felt so comfortable. And this shows some very serious narcissistic behavior. And, I know that word is thrown around a lot, but I'm just saying, like, that really shows some balls, some arrogance about himself for him to really just show up drove her, so but he felt so comfortable to drive her van all the way on the other fucking side of the country from where they was at home without her. That shit is wild to me for him to even do that. And then for him to be there, for him to actually have been there for them whole 10 days. You know what I'm saying? Or we can't wait. I'm so sorry because we can't say that he was there for those 10 days before she was reported missing. And honestly, I don't believe that he was. I think that he used that time to have a head start. But I'm just saying, for him to have felt that comfortable to have drove all the way to Freak home, yeah, and just pulled up like it wasn't nothing and went home. And whatever the hell happened, um, his parents helped him. Definitely helped him. If not other family and stuff too. Like there is people who knows where he is, and there's people who knows what the hell he did. Trust and believe that. Okay? They know exactly what the hell he did. And I think they need to be charged too. Because y'all are withholding information. You're assisting and aiding and abetting a fugitive. Okay? You're an accomplice at this point. The fuck? Hey, Cotton Candy. Hey, babe. Man, oh man. Right, in 2 weeks, I could have flown to Fiji, Dubai, back to America, period. Made to Mexico, got a face transplant, and a face transplant, and back standing there with the news media. Listen, I'm telling you. And now that you mentioned in Mexico or shit, Cuba, anywhere that you don't even gotta get no plane ticket, it's places to go without without flying. There's places to go. I guess some people did mention Mexico and shit like that, but that if y'all don't know, Dog the Bounty Hunter, he had went to the parents' house. They didn't talk to him, but he did go. But he had stated his opinion about where he could possibly be. But he said, he's been in Mexico. He's basically like, a white dude, just down there or whatever. Like the cartel would have basically turned him in just for the reward money. So he don't believe that he down there, but shit, you don't know. You don't know what money he got. I don't even know what the reward is. But shit, you just don't know. He obviously has resources and he has people assisting him. And I don't believe it's just one person. And I think anybody who comes up and is starting with his parents because he had to go home first. That's what we do know. We know that he went home. Okay. We know that he went home and his parents knows that she was not with him. And that now they know that she is no longer here on this earth. So even with that, once Gabby's body was found, you see their lawyer is now talking about they want to help any way that they can. Why? Because you scared for your own son's life now? Nah, bitch. Nah, because when her parents was asking you to please just give them something, please give some type of information of whatever you know. You said you didn't have no damn comment. Now that her body has been found and it's a manhunt looking for your son, now you talking about you'll be cooperative as much as possible. Bitch, fuck you and your cooperation because you didn't have too much damn time to work with also. No, y'all need some charges pressed against y'all because at this point, what are you talking about? You'll be cooperative. What do you know now that you didn't know then? You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. So you basically, thank you, Miss Wise. I appreciate you, babe. Man, you done all Dolly, babe. Okay, Veronica Boo. Hey, Cotton Candy. Dog the Bounty Hunter is on his ass. Ooh, listen. Him and John Walsh. Listen, right, knowing he be prime suspect, very bold. At work dying, but in the bushes. Listen, oh, I'm so sorry, babe. It's gonna get better. 2 to 3 days, my daughter better answer to her phone. Forget 10. Yes, yes. Does it all lead to the sons of Sam? Hmm. Yeah, these cramps suck, girl. I'm just, oh, I'm just saying. I feel like I don't know. I feel like them damn parents. Like it's like if you didn't know anything, well, they didn't say they didn't know anything. They just said they didn't have no comment. So okay, but now you're saying that you'll cooperate. But whether you say no comment or you didn't know anything, that's still withholding information because it's like this means that you did have some information that possibly could have helped, and you chose not to share that until your son is the one being searched for now, until your son's life is in danger possibly now. So you don't want to lose your son's life, but you didn't give no fucks when it was Gabby's life. And that young woman lived in the house with you for 2 years and you gave no fucks. And there is a question going around like if it was your son, what would you do? If it was your son, like would you help him? And see, that's where I won't necessarily say tough love, but that's where real shit comes into play. That's where you are a parent and not a friend. Okay. And that is where if you weren't already teaching them or if you didn't already raise him on how to be a man, this is going to be that moment that he's going to have to man up. And that's just that, because it's like, are you just going to give him over on a silver platter? Probably not, but you should really instill in him whatever conversation they had with him. It should have been to turn himself in. It should have been to tell the truth. It should have been whatever it is that happened. You can't go back, especially if you can't go back, and obviously he couldn't. You got to deal with what you got to make the decision to deal with right now the right way. Because if you didn't deal with back then the right way, you can't keep on dealing with shit that same way because all you're going to do is snowball it. And that's just it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like at that point, that should be a conversation where, I, yeah, the parents need to go to jail too. Yep, yep. I think they helped him clean scrub the van. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Now they did say they found, I think, because when they, went through the van and stuff like that, that's like one of the first things is that they found, and I think that's what made him a person of interest is after they, went through the van. Dog can find him. He found the Max Factor air that was a salty nose girl. Really? And he was a millionaire, so he can find this dude. Oh. Hey Sarah, if it were my son, I'd drag his ass to the authorities myself. Tough love. He needs to face the consequences. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. Because they obviously wasn't teaching him to be a man ahead of time. Because if so, he wouldn't deal with the fuck he did. And I'll just say this too, as a parent, you can only do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do, and your kids are raised, and they're damn sure gonna make their own decisions, and they're gonna make their own decisions. So it's like you can't just live their life for them, as a child or as an adult. But at the same time, you don't cover up him taking someone's life either at all. You know what I'm saying? Like you just go mute. Like, well, how is that helping? How is that helping? Having him out in the, you don't know who can run down on him. You don't know who can run down on him and and whatever they feel like his consequences need to be, they just take it in their own hands. You know, it could go that way. Oh, my stomach, y'all. I'm gonna go upstairs real quick. But yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they. I'm hoping that shit he gets found before they just decide to back off, or before the resources run out. That's what I'm hoping. So and I'm so sorry for that family. Because it's like you allow, your child is grown, your child wants to make decisions. Gabby, obviously, she was a go getter. She was not scared to take chances. She took a chance at life, she took a chance on love. You know, um, she just seemed like she was just, a young woman that was just out there just trying to figure things out and just live her life, and I'm just so sorry that she had to go whatever it was that she was going through, just from that body cam and her, trying to cover up for him in that moment, and then that kind of shows you too, like how opportunities are missed, because it's like there can be something like right in our face, like it can be our saving grace, like right there in our face. And whatever God will is, it is. Like it's not like we can outrun that, but at the same time, it's like you just never know if things just went a different way. We can just speculate or just theorize, like damn, like what if she would have just got arrested, and because that was like 2 weeks before she her life was taken. So it's like what was happening during that 2 weeks, after that time until people saw them again, and the argument at the restaurant. It's just like, was she just going across country just with this maniac that was just like, what the fuck? And I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. Dang. It's so scary when your kids go into the world. I'm telling you, they just out there, and you want to trust that you did a good enough job, and that if it gets bad enough, they'll come to you, or you'll be able to help them and things like that. But you can't just have your hands on them forever. You got to let them go. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just really just hope that he's found sooner than later. So I do appreciate y'all having this conversation with me. I wanted to give my thoughts on Kelly Price, as a parent of a young adult male who chose to do a crime that would lead him to our local news and embarrass the hell out of me. Oh Lord, I still made him stand in his ish on period. Period, cousin. Period. Like, listen. And the thing about it is, especially with, well, both with young women and young men, like there's gonna be a pivotal point in our lives where we become that man or that woman. Okay, it'll be that moment that you can't, like, you're either gonna fold or you gonna stand in it. And it's for both, for men and for women. So, and man, I'm telling you, like, I done made my mistakes in life, and I've spent a very large portion of my adult life trying to trying to fix the shit that I fucked up and trying to like, just come back from the mistakes that I've made. And even while doing that, I've made more. You know what I'm saying? I've been in that situation where, I make it worse before it gets better. It hasn't involved taking anybody's life, nothing that serious, but at the same time, it definitely has had its lasting effect. And I just think that we all should, we have kids, we need to raise them up to just try to do the best that we can to avoid those decisions that can really have a negative impact on our life for the long term, especially, you know, because it's easy to make those damn mistakes, but it's hella hard to get out of them or to fix them or to come back from them. It just is. So, yeah, so Miss Kelly Price, y'all. Miss Kelly Price has been in the news all over the place for being a missing person herself. So to my understanding, Kelly Price's family had reported her missing. Um, they had reported her missing, and she wasn't. She was recovering from COVID, and she was just staying to herself. Now, I was in Lady Nika's live this morning, and she had spoke on it for a second. And she said, and I've even seen the comments on other people's videos where they're saying that she could have told somebody. She could have reached out. She could have told her family she was good. Like she could have did that. She is back. She did she did like a little interview type thing, or not really an interview, but she just gave a statement. But so people are saying that, she just like she made that statement, she could have came out a lot sooner and let her family and friends know that she was okay, let the public know that she was okay. And, she basically well, Lady Nika said that she feels like because she is a public figure, like she should have done that. But at the same time, she does recognize that her sister is pretty much clout chasing and things like that. Now, I'm gonna say that I disagree. Um, I feel, listen, let me tell you something. Number one, Kelly Price said that her sister was saying something about she hadn't talked to her in like, some little couple weeks or something like that. She said she has not talked to her sister or been around her sister in a year. She said her and her sister have had issues for a while now. She hasn't been around her sister since their mother's funeral. So her sister is basically full of shit, like putting it out there like they talk or they have this relationship and they don't. So my thing is, and then, you have other people who have chimed in. They've even gotten her youngest daughter to, um, agree with them. They were putting out these allegations like her husband, like got something to do with her missing, like he done did something to her. And my thing is, and that's real fucked up right there. Like, y'all are just gonna put these allegations on this man, like he didn't offed his wife and did something to her or something. That was just crazy as hell. But I don't believe that Kelly deserve. I mean, that if she don't talk to them people, it's like, what do I got to talk to y'all now for? I think what it was is that they knew that she had COVID or they knew that she was sick, and maybe they just didn't know like how she was doing from it or something like that. Who knows? Whatever it was, they took that opportunity to come to the media and come to social media and create a story. And I just think that that shit is fucked up. You know, I think as a grown ass person, you don't owe nobody shit. You don't have to talk to nobody. You don't have to respond to nobody. You don't gotta. She said that people was ringing her doorbell. She even had to leave her home because people were coming to her house and stuff like that, and she didn't want to be bothered. Number one, if she has COVID, her and her husband ended up catching it, and they're in the house, their house home, quarantining and stuff like that, and getting themselves together. What the fuck? Like, leave them alone. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they was just wrong as hell for putting out some type of missing person thing on them. And then it's like now she got to get a statement, or the police got to lay eyes on her or something like that, so that for her to be taken out of the national registry. That's crazy as fuck. You know how many people try to really report? How many stories have we heard about people reporting people missing, and they won't fucking take the report because they're an adult? They won't even take the report because they're an adult. And now she can't even get the report off of her. Like, that's just ridiculous. I just think that people just always want to use somebody else's situation or name to get attention for themselves. Like, for what? Like, what was y'all trying to do? Hurry up and do some type of GoFundMe or get some type of financial support or something like that? Or like what? Like, get your name out there, let people know that you related to her, just anything? Like, what? Y'all haven't been able to, y'all bored? It was just weird as fuck. And then for them to like put them allegations on her husband like that, that's just crazy. So they obviously just don't like him. But yeah, they were saying that they feel like either Kelly Price or the husband, like, they could have just let people know that they was good and she's good and she's okay, and whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like, as a grown person, if you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be bothered. Like, if you want to go off on a vacation for a month and not talk to no motherfucking body or whatever, and not answer your phone or your door or just whatever it is, like, you don't have to. Now, I do understand if if she's somebody that um has some type of issues or needs care, stuff like that. And, people just need to have hands on her and eyes on her to know that she's okay. Then I get that. And I did see somewhere that people were saying that they feel like she's off or she has mental illness or something like that. I don't know anything about that. People always want to put shit on people and diagnose people, so I got to think about that. So I don't know. It's Summer. Hey, babe. But I don't know. I just feel like she don't owe nobody nothing. Like, I mean, here's my thing. Like, how many people and celebrities and shit is out there that nobody knows where they at, what they doing? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know nothing that's going on with them. They just out there living their life, doing what they do. And ain't nobody paying no attention to them. And it could be the same thing with her. I mean, have Kelly Price really just been like all up and through the news and the social media and just been the talk of the town? No, she hasn't. So why is it so important that she keeps up with people and tells people what she got going on with her? Y'all wasn't worried about her before somebody said she was missing. So she got to tell y'all all about, what she got going on now. I don't know. Okay, Dolly Boo. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Wait a minute. Nobody knows where I want a boy. Huh? You want a boy? Or nobody knows where you went? Type it. I'm sorry, babe. I was gonna come on camera, but I'm gonna come back on to talk about some messy shit. Ah, no, it's okay. I'm gonna come back on to talk about that Vivian and beach stuff. Um, I gotta take a Midol real quick. So I'm gonna go take a Midol real quick, and I'm gonna come right back. Just give me about 3:30. I'll be back on. Oh, my stomach. I'm gonna talk about the little mess that I saw last night And while I do something to myself real quick so I can go run to the store, I gotta go grab a pack of turkey chops. So I'm gonna go grab that and then oh my stomach. Um, Dolly, I didn't get in the house until 10:30. I didn't get in the house until 10:30. So I don't know. I just honestly don't know. I'm just trying to take it like one day at a time. Like I really can't schedule nothing no more. Like my son lost his phone, so I ended up giving him my iPhone. And I just had some stuff to do and I don't even know, like I don't know. I don't even want to schedule anything anymore unless it's like that day of because I just got stuff that I'm trying to do outside of here to, just to keep work going and stuff like that. So that's what happened to that. I didn't get in the house until 10:30. So I came on, I was on Bigo and I did my little skincare and we watched the first episode of the Black Mafia Family season. Oh, heat and pad. Oh, I wish I could come bring it to you. Oh, I know. Blazing was laughing at me talking about. I told Blazing, I said, Blazing, I can't schedule nothing. He just laughing in the chat. I said, you laughing and shit. I'm over here irritated as fuck. But okay, I'm gonna be right back on y'all. Trying to do me some eyebrows and lashes real quick. And if I don't see y'all, thank y'all so much for stopping by. Thank you for engaging in the conversation. And I will see y'all soon. Bye bye.